also 4-0. And Bug Delver is a deck that we've seen do pretty well in the Open Series over the course of 2014. It's really starting to pick up quite a bit. We've seen players like Bob Wang do quite well with that deck. I know he filled in for Leaving Legacy last month, so he's a big proponent of that deck. And also did really well at Grand Prix Washington, D.C. last year. Now you're going to see a Thoughtseize here. Xantid Swarm is in play, and I remember where I've seen Eddie. I remember now. He's the king of the white border cards.
Yes, okay.
I remember now. I believe I've seen him play a Stoneforge, like a Stoneblade deck that was mostly white bordered. You see Deathrite Shaman here. Gonna remove a land, gonna cast a Delver of Secrets. This is actually a duel of who's got the prettier deck. There are some nice cards out here.
Yeah. Right now, it looks like Edward's just facing down Disruption Overload, which we often see out of Bug Delver in the post-board games. Just a clock, and then a ton of Thoughtseizes, Hymns, Dazes, Spell Pierces. It's just, very hard for the Ad Nauseam deck to get anything going, assuming the Bug deck is built with that matchup in mind.
Sure. See a Ponder going to fire off here for a Song. Got the Xantid Swarm in play, looking at a Pass and Flames among other cards. My question for you, that Underground Sea, what version is that? I know you're good at this.
I believe that is simply a revised one, but it's possible that it is a white bordered foreign.
Okay. The Underground?
Yeah, there were white bordered foreign cards.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
That was a thing. They're less common and, they're not as, flashy or whatever,
Sure.
but it's a thing. It might just be a regular revised one.
Okay. Delver is flipped. It's coming in for 3.
And look at Reed's hand. I mean, Force of Will, Hymn to Torak.
His hand is a
Ponder,
delight.
Daze. It's just...
Yeah. There goes your grip.
Good luck getting anything going.
I really feel like this is a matchup that favors Bug Delver, too. They have the perfect form of disruption. They have got a great clock. They've got disruption in the form of discards and counter magic. They can mess with your graveyard a little bit with Deathrite Shaman. It seems like when you're playing against combo decks with this deck, you are very happy to get that matchup.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on what your, what the game one is like. There's a lot of ways to build Delver decks, obviously, and a lot of different cards you can potentially play. A lot of Bug decks are basically don't have great combo matchups game one. They have a little bit of disruption and try to overload in the post-board games. Reed is playing main deck Hymn and main deck Daze and 4 main deck Force of Wills. So absolutely prepare for the combo matchups. And then additional Spell Pierces, Fluster Storms, and Thoughtseizes in the sideboard. So
okay, wow. An Infernal Tutor here, since there were no cards in hand. That's neat. Now, Song's version of Storm, he has 2 copies of Burning Wish here. Everything else is pretty stock. It's got Pass and Flames, a main deck Tendrils of Agony. A couple of cards to wish for include another copy of Tendrils of Agony. Ill-Gotten Gains, Pyroclasm. Looks like he's got a Massacre hanging out here as well. Empty the Warren. So a little bit different than what we normally see someone like Eric Rill or BBD play.
Mm-hmm. Still, it's just going to be hard to get any traction here.
Yeah. When your opponent's got that much counter magic in hand. Now, of course, Xantid Swarm is actually doing a nice job against the counter magic right now. But you know that at any point, just discard spells can be coming, as Burning Wish is the card that is searched for here by Song, as Hartman's going to untap, just operating on 1 land, but 2 mana. Okay.
Sure, a hand.
Is there another land to remove?
No, it doesn't appear that Deathrite can make mana at this point.
Please find your seats.
That's important.
So Reed will simply have to protect himself with Force of Will, Daze, and attack Eddie's graveyard, which is also not a horrible place to be.
Well, I guess the thing he can do here is he can... Is there a land for remove? I think he's assuming that there's land to remove. He might be a little bit surprised to see that he doesn't have one, or is he just going to remove something so there's no access? Okay, so he's just going to remove a card from the graveyard. Okay. And attack for 3. Because I was going to say what he could do here is he could cast Ponder. Mm-hmm. Ponder into a fetch land, play the fetch land, obviously get to shuffle his deck, and then he has access to 2 mana.
Sure.
But I think what he's probably doing is he actually wants Edward to draw a second card to hit 2 cards with him, even though he's not going to get to do that now, as here's a Burning Wish.
Again, Reed's counters at this point offer no defense against that Xantid Swarm, so we'll see if what this Infernal Tutor is able to offer up.
This Burning Wish that's going to be put on the stack here, again, Pyroclasm, Massacre, Ill-Gotten Gains, Tendrils, Empty the Warrens. wonder what he wants to get, because like having Xanthid Swarm is actually pretty nice. Now being able to Pyroclasm is like a positive too, I suppose. But yeah, and he's gonna play Pyroclasm and kill everything. But that Xanthid Swarm, I guess Eddie doesn't know that that's the thing that's actually kind of holding everything together for him right now.
Yeah, and I just don't know what the long-term plan is here. You know, that's the big question that I have.
When your opponent has that many cards, yeah, you see Ponder, 2, 3. There's a Delver, a Ponder, and a Wasteland there for Hartman. I think that had pretty good Ponder there.
Yeah, Reed just needs to reestablish a clock here. So
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Draw a Wasteland next turn, flip your Delver the following turn is not a bad start.
That's exactly how he set it up. He drew the Delver off of the Ponder, put the Wasteland second. We'll reveal for the third. Looks like he's going to go firing away with Wasteland here, too. I suppose Wasteland right now isn't going to be any better than this.
Yeah, and, you know, Reed does have those daisies in hand, so cutting off mana is good.
Pass the turn back, flip it over. There's the Ponder that we all knew about. So Sextile Aberration is going to flip into a 3-2. And start by bashing in, put Song down to 8. And second main phase will be a Ponder. So 1, 2, 3. You see Thoughtseize, Misty Rainforest, and an Underground Sea. He's going to put Underground Sea into play and just pass the turn back. So this is I mean, you can just see with the context of Hartman's deck, it is very hard for Song to be able to get any footing. I can only imagine how difficult this matchup is.
Yeah, and, you know, like I said, Reed's well equipped to win game 1, which a lot of bug decks are not. And then in the post-board games, it gets even better. It's very rare, you know, in my mind, it's very rare to see lists in Legacy where people are dedicating a lot of their 75 to beat combo.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people say, I'm going to punt game 1 and try to overload in the post-board games. I see a lot of people say, I don't have a game plan here at all. I basically hope to avoid the unfair decks. Reed has come prepared.
There's a Brainstorm. After Gitaxian Probe did resolve, a couple of cards in hand over there, but nothing. I mean, he's rebuilding a little bit here, just because he's been playing Draw Go for a little while. So you see a bunch of rituals over there. But again, there's nothing really all that exciting.
And not that much time.
Yeah.
He's on 5, so.
He's got to get through that wall of counter magic. And the other thing, too, is that he doesn't even know a Thoughtseize is about to happen.
Or a him, if Reed wants to do that instead.
See Thoughtseize the draw. Yeah, might as well fire off the him. 2 cards go away. Yeah, 2 more rituals attack you for 3. Put you down to 2. Go down to 1. Will Eddie. Trying to think of what the draw is to get some back into this.
Through Force of Will and Lethal next turn and 2 days is.
Oh. You see Hartman. All right.
I have it all.
Yeah, I guess that draw doesn't exist. I take it back. Angel's Grace. I found it.
And then what?
I don't want to talk about that.
I
just want to talk about Angel's Grace being the answer for this turn.
Then what's the plan going forward?
Oh, what if we draw Sudden Shock?
It's not bad. Sudden Shock's not bad.
Kill that Delver. Sudden Death, also acceptable. Don't know why that would be in his deck, but Sudden Shock. Sudden Shock seems perfectly fine to have in the deck because Lion's Eye Diamond and a Concession. Reed Hartman's going to win. Move on to 5-0. He's going to keep calm and chive on as Edward Song does pick up his first loss. So we do see 2 players moving to 5-0 here. A Bug Delver, looking very impressive there, though.